I believe this is day 6. I did not have a chance to do a episode this weekend. I had material, but I just didn't have it. I tried to do it Saturday night and it was too dark in the car driving back, and I couldn't do it Sunday, so it's today. So how are things going? This morning they sucked, but before I get into that, I'm gonna recap this weekend. I was feeling Saturday, woke up, had tons of energy. Might be drinking too much coffee. That could be part of that. And then I thought I was going to go do some hiking, and I ended up sitting around all day with my daughter instead. So I was kind of like basically, I had my steak for lunch, and then I wasn't even looking forward to having one for dinner, because I'm finding if you don't exercise, you don't have the hunger it doesn't bring out your hunger. So eating a huge steak when you haven't done anything all day is not the most appetizing thing. So anyways, I finally got a chance just before it got dark out to go hike, and I went. And I felt much better when I did. I went around Rock Cut State Park, which is a big, huge, nature area in Rockford, Illinois. And it ended up being 4-some miles. I thought it was only 3 around the lake, but I hiked around the lake, and I tried doing it. I wanted to feel and start learning, get my feet used to being actually barefoot. Because I hate it. It's like a sign, a weakness where you literally, people can't walk on their own feet. I can't. I can, around the house outside, but I found out on the trail, a little bit of gravel, a little bit of crushed stone, shut me down. I was basically dying on some parts, but then, or it was grass or just dirt, mud, sand, they all felt wonderful. It was great. And then, I had to tiptoe around some of the paved areas with gravel. And then the crushed stone was really hard. I almost quit a couple times. And then I got a mile and 1.4 miles around, and I had to stop and put on my barefoot shoes because of acorns. A big grassy area, but there were so many oak trees, and the acorns just shut me down. I couldn't walk on those barefoot. And then I put my barefoot shoes on, and I was fine. So barefoot shoes are awesome, but they're not being barefoot. So there's a big difference. So I want to keep doing this so I can eventually, I might have ugly feet from calluses and stuff, but I want to be able to walk on my own feet on this earth, So that was something. And then it ended up being dark. Bad timing makes for good stories. Bad planning. I got there 6 something. I started hiking at 6:15, and sunset was 7:20. And needless to say, I wasn't going very fast barefoot. In some parts, I was just basically barely managing to walk. It hurt so much. And one thing I will say about the barefoot, though, I never got injured. I was worried about stepping on something and just being, being crippled, and no thorns, nothing. Nothing was bad. Just, the stuff hurt, but there was nothing that really shut me down. You just couldn't go faster. The rocks were really bad. And then when I put on my barefoot shoes at the end, I thought I timed it just perfectly, and I was almost back to my car because I could see it from this one. I was going around a lake, and there was a little, out where the cars were in this one spot, and I could see where my car was, and I was like, oh, I'm almost there. Probably just perfect because it was just getting dark. I'm going in these dark trails covered with woods, and lo and behold, there was a big inlet that I didn't realize, where the trail went way in up where this river creek came in, and then way back out. So I was going quite a bit in the dark, and I was almost thinking, God, I can't wait. I love hiking in the dark. It's because you can still see the trail and the trees. You can make out everything, enough to walk, except for the big tree roots everywhere that you can't see at all because they just blend in with the ground. I jammed my toes, I don't know how many times, almost fell down, stepped on my, right in the middle of my foot on these branches, and it was unpleasant. And then it was a big, huge swath where it was mud that I didn't know was there because it was so dark, and almost went down. Anyways, I finally made it back to my car and was fine. And I had fun. I'm glad I got out. And then when I got home, which I didn't eat till 8 something at night, the steak sounded good. And I ate that. And the other thing was I haven't been, I think that day I did my Symbicort, which is, I told you is the like inhaler, like twice a day I do it. And then like, my Zyrtec, which is for like sinuses and allergies, and I take that once a day. Sunday I didn't do it. I just did my rescue inhaler at night, and then this morning I was sort of wheezing, and I wasn't breathing that good, so I did my rescue inhaler. And then I went on a walk this morning, like a 3-mile walk, and I tried to do my push-ups and stuff. I was able to do 35 again, but I was dying. Like I could barely do them. And then the other 2 sets, I did 3 pull-ups. I stopped because I don't want to hurt myself, but I wasn't feeling good. I thought I would be doing better, and then I thought, oh great. But then I realized the problem was my lungs still aren't good. Like the problem was I could not breathe. I wasn't getting any oxygen. So I don't know how good I would have done if I was still on my Symbicort and so I took those now, so I'm better. Because even when I got done, I was like I couldn't breathe. So it was lack of oxygen made my walk and the push-ups and stuff not so good. Which that kind of sucked because I want to get off the medicine, but obviously I can't yet. I'm not there yet. So hopefully that comes when I don't have asthma anymore. That's my hope. Hopefully it's just time. This is one of the crazy things. And I've heard people talk about like not getting sunburn, and I've noticed that in the past where you I'll be out in the sun and I don't get sunburn where I used to get sunburn all the time. But I noticed, I don't know if it was maybe, I don't know, I want to say Thursday, I noticed the roof of my mouth was all raw, like I'd ate something that burned, but I couldn't remember anything hot. Like I heated up the hamburgers, I had my coffee, but it didn't seem that hot. And then I made coffee Saturday morning. My wife's son came over, and I made him some coffee, and it was, you could see it steaming hot, and I had the same thing, and he was like, holy shit, that's hot. And I'm just like, what? Drinking it just fine. And normally, if I get a McDonald's coffee, I gotta open it and let it sit for 20 minutes before I can even sip it, because it'll burn the shit out of my mouth. Hot stuff doesn't bother my mouth anymore. So I think that's the other day, my coffee was probably hot and burned the roof of my mouth off, but I didn't even notice it because it didn't seem hot to me. So it's weird, I'm not as sensitive to things. I can drink really, really hot coffee, no problem. And my mouth hasn't burned anymore, but the skin. But I was I never could do that before. I had to wait till stuff cooled off quite a bit. My wife would joke that I have a sensitivity disorder, my skin and everything. And so it's that's kind of weird. That's crazy. I can drink hot stuff now, no problem, without having to wait for it to cool off. It doesn't burn me like it used to. Another thing I've been having, today I didn't, and we'll see how it goes, but a lot of times after I eat, I've been having diarrhea. And I remember Michaela Peterson said something about that. She had it for 6 weeks. That was one of the worst things about it, but it was still better than her, all her other illnesses. And then after that, it stopped and it went away fine. So I'm not that worried about it. It's kind of just a little bit after I eat. It's not like I have stomach pain or anything like that. It's just, it comes out peeing out my ass, basically. So that's one of the things. And it seemed a little better today, so I haven't done that yet. So that's one of the only negative things I can see. And then today I'm still needing to do my drugs to breathe, so that kind of sucks. Headaches haven't been that bad, a little bit just feeling weird in my head, but not a headache. And I think that's still my sinuses and stuff. Trying to think of anything else I'm forgetting. I'll probably add more later. This weekend, Super Bowl Sunday, the big thing we always had, we eat good, or not good, we eat crap, but delicious snack foodie things for that day. And one of the ones is chili cheese dip and chips, which I freaking love. And not even, this is the first really bad craving I had. I wanted to eat that so bad, I was dying. I wanted to eat that but so bad, but I didn't. Thankfully, with the help of my wife mocking me and making, no, you can't do it. Don't be a failure, basically, And I didn't do it, so I felt fine. And it's not really like hunger. It's just great. Like that smelled and tasted so good. And that's funny. The thing with me, it's not like sweets and cookies and things like that I crave. It's like Mexican food and chips and salsa and things like that are what I really, really love. But other than that, I'm trying to think of anything else. Like I said, I think today's day 6. And I've had nothing but steak, water, and coffee. And I think I'm going to start trying to bring down the coffee and maybe eventually get rid of it and seeing if that, because I'm still doing that. That's it for now, and I'll add more later when I think it's time. I thought of one more thing. One of the things I noticed came into big with the whole carnivore diet, just eating meat and water, is snacks. Like, I was dying during the Super Bowl because I, all these delicious snacks, and I didn't want to cook another steak and eat it. Like, you have to have an appetite. So, I think next weekend when we do that, I'm gonna pre-make some bacon up and hard-boiled eggs, and at least have that for a snack thing that's still meat, or maybe some kind of chicken wings or something like that I get. They might not be the best thing to eat, but they're still just meat. But something different besides steak when you're just for variety. Just when you're around other stuff, it seemed I noticed today I was like, I'd rather have something besides steak right now. Except when I wasn't, and that was Sunday because I hadn't exercised. I didn't do any exercise Sunday, but I was kind of sore from the other stuff, so I wanted to have a rest day. But it's one thing I noticed big time is getting your exercise in really helps with the diet because it gets your hunger going. I think a lot of times when you're on the regular standard American diet, you're just hungry because it's time to eat. It's mental, you know what I mean, or your blood sugar's low or whatever. It's not because you're actually hungry. It's just my thoughts on that. This is just a little quick one with probably terrible sound because I don't have a microphone hooked up, but I just wanted to point out, I kept saying Super Bowl Sunday. It wasn't Super Bowl Sunday. It was the first game of the season, the first day of football. Well, not first day, Thursday was, but so it wasn't Super Bowl. I kept saying that. It's just Packers fan. Watch the Packers-Bears game. And another thing I said on the past, that I was going to be 48. I'm actually 48 now, and I'm going to be 49. So just an FYI. Thanks.